You listen to me. You're Nick fucking... Whoa, Cage!
Woo! Showtime, folks. Guys, Chuco's power pick number 3. I have to bring my boy Nick Cage into this. Okay, so I have to start off by saying I'm a little biased, alright? I grew up on a lot of Nick Cage movies, so Nick Cage can do no wrong in my book. I mean, he's had a couple of duds here and there. We all know a little bit of the history when it comes to some of like the straight to DVD or on-demand movies with Nick Cage. But guys, this man could do no wrong. And he did no wrong with the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is our newest pick for Chuco's power pick. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, I think, slipped under the radar a little bit. But this was one of the more recent releases of Nick Cage's career and his filmography. And this movie, guys, this is comedy. Action comedy maybe, but definitely leans more into the comedic side of things for Nick Cage. Now, this movie follows literally Nick Cage. That's his character's name. He's playing a version of himself that is, you know, just feeling like he's at the end of his rope as an actor. He's trying to get these roles and they're offering the jobs to other people, and his agent finds him a gig, basically, and that is to go to a birthday party for Pedro Pascal's character. And that's where things start to go off the rails. And guys, this movie is just charming in every single way. You got Pedro Pascal, who plays this character who's just enamored with Nick Cage, who's just grown up. He's basically like the super Nick Cage fan, and he plays the role very well. It's like a childlike awe of a hero, and it's basically like a buddy film, you know, where Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal are just going on this massive just bromance of a trip, doing all these different things, and it's just over the top comedy. And within that story, you have Tiffany Haddish along with another co-star who are playing CIA operatives who believe that Pedro Pascal's character is a very dangerous person, and that's where things start to kind of unravel for Nick Cage, and he plays this the actor Nick Cage in the movie. It gets a little meta, sorry guys. The actor Nick Cage within the movie is playing a secret agent to find out more about Pedro Pascal's character. Now, starting off with the pros of this film, Nick Cage. Nick Cage is a pro of this film. His charisma and his overacting all play a huge role in the comedy part of this movie, and I just really enjoy it. Another pro I have is Pedro Pascal. In this movie, he just plays that childlike wonder of meeting your superstar, character in real life, and being able to, play that awkward kind of feeling that you would have, that starstruck feeling you would have. He plays it very well. And another pro I have is putting those two together. The chemistry is there. The comedy works. It's kind of offbeat. It's buddy comedy at its best, and I just really enjoy this film. It's just it just gets to points sometimes where it's like ultra meta, and you just have to enjoy every second of it. There's literally scenes of Nick Cage talking to a younger version of himself, and they're just hyping each other up, and it's got to be like the best thing you've ever seen if you're a Nick Cage fan. If you're not a major Nick Cage fan, then, it might just kind of fall flat for you. But even somebody that's not a major Nick Cage fan would just look at this film and be like, what is going on? This is hilarious. And it just works for me. If I have to give this movie some cons, it really relies on you knowing some of the Nick Cage lore that comes before it. So, like I said, I grew up around Nicolas Cage movies, so I saw Face Off, I saw Con Air. I I saw even The Family Man, there's Mandy, there's all these movies that I've seen with Nick Cage in them. It really elevates everything that goes on in this movie. So if you're not as big of a Nicolas Cage fan, some of the jokes might fall a little flat. And that would be my only con of this movie, really, is that it really relies on you knowing who Nick Cage is. And that's what makes it funny. If I have to give it another con, maybe, is that this is more of a talky, character-driven comedy. There's not so much slapstick. It's not like anything that they're just trying to crack jokes every 5 seconds. This is definitely a little bit more of a long-winded kind of comedy, but it works for what they're going for. And I'm not gonna criticize this movie anymore because guess what, guys? I love this movie. This is a guilty pleasure of mine, and it's gonna reflect highly whenever I give it my score. So, while we're at it, might as well give it a rating. You know, we like to do that here at Chuco's Powerhouse Cinema. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is a 4 out of 5. Are you not entertained? And the reason you have to ask why you wouldn't be entertained is because it's Nick freaking Cage, alright?
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! Open my eyes! Eyes! Ah! Ah!
It's Nick Cage, alright? Giving this just outlandish performance, talking to a younger version of himself, having these like buddy moments with Pedro Pascal, this bromance, and just they're just going all over the place with this, and the chemistry is there, the comedy works, and it's just a fun movie. All right, now if you have a couple hours to kill, sure, it runs a little long maybe for some people, and it does rely on you knowing a lot about Nick Cage for certain jokes, but despite that, this has got to be one of the funnier comedies that I've seen since like that era of comedies in the mid 2000s, early 2000s. When that kind of died out, I felt like comedy just kind of dried off, and just died, withered away and died. And The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, it brought it back up for me. I felt like there was hope. There's still hope out there. And of course, hope comes in the form of Nick Cage. But what do you guys think about The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent? Have you seen the movie? Do you have thoughts on it? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Disagree with what I'm saying? Do you think this should have been a power pick? Or what do you think should be a power pick in the future? Leave it down in the comments below. If you haven't already and you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It really helps us grow and continue to make videos. Or like and share this video. We appreciate all the support we get, and I appreciate hearing thoughts from you guys. But with that, guys, if you're ever caught, in Spain and you have to go through a secret mission for the CIA against somebody you think is your best friend, it's like my friend Nikki used to say, and that's